we are well on our way.
Some incredible friendships happening in this series. But now, if you're looking for my next guests on Saturday night, they can normally be found snooping about behind the scenes of Strictly. It's the official podcast host, Joe, Suggs, and Kim Winston! Oh, this is exciting, isn't it?
I love it.
Hi, Joe.
Hello.
Hi, Kim.
Hi.
Hi. So, Joe, I'm going to kick it off with you because the podcast, I've heard
Yes.
quite a few episodes. I've been on it a few times.
You have?
But if you haven't heard it, tell me about the podcast. What can people expect?
The podcast, the Strictly podcast, is the go-to place for behind the scenes. Everything behind the scenes, Strictly, the podcast is the place to go. We get all the backstage goss. We play games with the couples.
Joe is a game show host.
I've become a game show host, which is fun. And Kim is like the encyclopedia of Strictly.
She is.
As we know.
As we know. But Kim, we know that Joe was a contestant and, you know, he's been on Strictly in the past, but you've been a part of Strictly for a long time. Is that how you got involved with the podcast?
Yeah, so 14 years ago, I started on Strictly, and I was so lucky. My very first role was on the live team, so that's kind of working with the presenters. And it was with Sir Bruce Forsyth, so that was like my first ever role on the show. So I was so lucky to be involved. And then I kind of moved around, like over the years. I've been on the dance team and the live team, and now I'm on the podcast with Joe.
Now you're stuck with me.
No, this is the best duo in the business. Oh, actually, Kim, you and I met, 10 years ago?
Yes.
You were the one that showed me the ropes the first time I ever got into Strictly, so we've been friends for a long time. And they're lucky to have you. We love you. So, mega fans, the two of you, of the show. You both love the show.
I think that's it. Like, we are genuinely obsessed with the show. Like, it's not like we're just going on and chatting about it. Like, I think we have an obsession.
Yeah. But it's a good obsession, because luckily lots of us are obsessed with the show. And what do you think of the series so far? What do you make of our contestants?
It's just another year after year, it just gets better and better.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think this year for us is like the results show. That is the bit where we have no idea. You know how some years you can have a little bit, you know, you can kind of have a guess at who you think is going to go out. But this year, we like have no idea, and Joe gets really nervous, which I love.
I stand up. I can't sit down during the results show. I have to stand up.
I know, because Diane, you're like, come on, just get I know, I can imagine the nerves. I think I've been there a few times and I've seen you like panicking.
Yeah.
But you get to see everything when you're backstage. You are involved. And what is the buzz like for the two of you when you're backstage?
It's so fun. I think because the pressure is totally off us. Like, we are there just to get the gossip, get all the good bits. So, yeah, we have zero pressure. And I think because we're just doing it as a chat, aren't we? So, like, everyone just seems to, hopefully, enjoy chatting to us, and we kind of get... It's a bit like what you do here. Like, the guys feel relaxed.
Just do, like, the podcast version of It Takes Two, basically.
Exactly.
With the two of you.
We're like the friends on the side that are just sort of like, hello, come and talk to us.
Yeah.
You know, we'll make you feel calm.
And all the contestants go up to Joe with, like, big wide eyes, being like, please tell me this will be OK. Because you've done it.
Yeah. I'm like, got nothing to worry about.
Yeah. They come to you for comfort. And so is there a spot backstage specifically that you like to sit and watch or sit and do the best intel to get information for the podcast?
I love going to the... I love it and hate at the same time. The 5 to live. You know, that 5 minutes before they go live, all backstage, the songs are playing, they're all getting hyped up. That moment, I love being in amongst it, but it's a busy part, isn't it?
There's
and it's
so much going on.
Yeah.
But that's when we're literally both like there. Like, you know, people are getting like things sewn on, and we're like, what are you doing? What's going on? And people are dripping with sweat and getting powdered.
Yeah.
And that's what we
Getting
love.
stitched for the last
We're
minute.
wandering around with a microphone just like this. Like,
Yeah. And you know how they feel because you've been standing on those stairs before. Whereas I guess because I've worked in production, that's the bit like it's easy for us because it's like, OK, over to you guys.
But that's why you're such a dynamic duo, you see. Although, Joe, I've heard on the podcast a few times that you keep forgetting your dancing. You forget certain steps, you forget certain moves. What's going on?
A little bit. It's been four years?
Yeah.
It's been 4 years.
Yeah, it's been 4 years, but you still get a bit of dancing into your system because, as you know, Diane, your other half, is still in the competition.
She is.
And we've got this little video of the two of you. Have a look.
Oh.
There you are. I believe this was Tyler's Charleston. Does she practice all the routines on you like that?
This one, we did. And I was actually really surprised at how quickly I picked that up. I was like, where was that when it was my year? Yeah, I was quite happy with that.
Suggs.
Thank you.
You looked good. Does she practice with you loads then?
A little bit, yeah, I think so. Like, that kitchen space has been used quite a few times for dancing, like dancing on the kitchen tiles.
Well, I can say that your swivels are still looking really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the podcast is amazing, and you're doing such a brilliant job. Thank you for coming onto the show, and I can't wait to listen to the next episode.
Oh, thank you.
It's Kim and Joe, everybody. And don't forget, you can catch them on BBC Sounds every Sunday, all right? So, in a moment, I'll be speaking to Ellie and Johannes about how they plan to break the Charleston curse.